In today's lecture we will try to solve a problem that is related to the gear train. In the problem we are given that we have a reverted gear train. What does this reverted gear train means? Reverted gear train means that both the driver and the driven gear will be coaxial to each other. They will not be on the same shaft, but they will be coaxial. They will have same axis of rotation. And we are given that the speed ratio that we want to obtain through this connection is 12, and the module for gear A and B is 3.125, and for C and D it is 2.5 millimeter. Then we are required to find out the number of teeth on each gear such that they should be greater than or equal to 24. This is the one condition, and as we are given that the ratio should be 12, it means that the speed that we will obtain at the driven gear may be 12 times the driver gear, or it can be the speed of the driven gear to be 12 times less than the driver gear. But here you can see that the size of this A is less than the size of the D, so you can say that we will obtain the speed of the driven pulley to be 12 times less than the driver pulley. So and A divided by ND will be equal to 12. And as you can see, this gear B and gear C are both on the same shaft, so they will have same speed. So NB is equal to NC. So you can write this equation like this as well: NA divided by NB multiplied by NC divided by ND. Because NC and NB can be cancelled out with each other, so you will get back to the previous equation. So this is the main equation. If you see over here, the distance between the two shafts upon which the gears are mounted is equal to 200 millimeter, which is equal to the sum of the two gear radiuses. This is the radius of gear B and this is the radius of gear A. So the sum of the radius of gear A and gear B will be equal to 200 millimeters. Now if you multiply 2 on both sides, this will give you dA, which is the diameter of gear A, and this will give you diameter of gear B, and this will be 400. So this is one equation that you should remember. And if you see, this is the radius of gear C and this is the radius of gear D, so RC plus RD will also be equal to 200, and when you multiply 2 on both sides, here you will get 400, and 2RC will be equal to DC and 2RD will be equal to DD. This is another equation. Now coming towards this equation, if you take this to be equal to 3 and take this to be equal to 4, so 3 multiplied by 4 will be equal to 12. So another equation is NA divided by NB is equal to 3, and NC divided by ND is equal to 4. By rearranging this equation, you will get NA is equal to 3 NB, and by rearranging this equation, NC will be equal to 4 ND. Now as you know that module is equal to diameter divided by number of teeth, T. We will represent number of teeth by T. So we can rearrange this equation like this as well. Putting this equation in these two equations, first of all put it in this equation, you will get MTC plus MTD is equal to 400. Divide M on both sides, you will get TC plus TD is equal to 400 divided by M. You put it in this equation, you will get TA plus TB is equal to 400 divided by M. Now for gear A and B, M is 3.125, so putting the value of M, it will give you TA plus TB is equal to 128. And for gear C and D, the module is 2.5 millimeter, so you will have to put 2.5 over here, and you will get TC plus TD is equal to 160. Now as you know that this gear A and gear B are meshed with each other, so they will cover the same distance and same time, so they will have same velocity if there is no slip. And similarly this C and D are meshed with each other, so they will also have the same velocity. And as velocity is equal to r omega, so Ra into omega A is equal to Rb into omega B. Now multiply 2 on both sides. So 2Ra will be equal to dA and 2Rb will be equal to dB. As omega is the angular speed or number of revolutions per minute, so omega A can be written as Na and omega B can be written as Nb. Similarly for this, doing the same steps like this, you will get dc nc is equal to dd nb. And again replacing this d term with mt, so mta na is equal to mtb nb. So this m and m will get cancelled out each other. Doing the same step for this as well, you will get tcnc is equal to td nd. Now if you rearrange this equation for Na, you will get T B and B divided by Ta. And similarly for Nc, you will get Td and D divided by Tc. Now put this value over here. You will get Tb and B divided by Ta is equal to 3 Nb. Now Nb and Nb can be cancelled out with each other. So Tb divided by Ta is equal to 3. So Tb will be equal to 3Ta. And similarly putting this in this Nc, you will get T D and D divided by Tc is equal to 4 Nd. This Nd can be cancelled out with each other, and multiplying Tc on both sides, it will be cancelled from here, it will come over here. So you will get Td is equal to 4Tc. Now put the value of Tb over here in this equation. So you will get Ta plus 3Ta is equal to 128. Ta plus 3Ta will give you 4 Ta, and when you divide this 4 on both sides, you will get Ta is equal to 32. To find out the value of Tb, you will have to put the value of Ta over here. 32 plus Tb is equal to 128, and bringing this 32 to the other side of the equality, it will give you a Tb is equal to 128 minus 32, so Tb will be equal to 96. Put the value of Td over here in this equation. So Tc plus 4Tc is equal to 160. So Tc plus 4Tc will give you 5Tc, and dividing 5 on both sides, it will give you 32. So Tc is equal to 32. Put this Tc value over here. It will give you 32 plus Td is equal to 160. Bring this 32 on other side of the equality. It will give you Td is equal to 160 minus 32. And that will give you Td is equal to 128. See, the teeths on all the gears are greater than 24. So this condition is satisfied. So these were the required teeths on each gear.